The question hit him harder than any shout ever could, landing in the quiet space between heartbeats while the world kept moving as if nothing had happened. It was a simple question, the kind people asked every day without thinking. But for Michael Carter, it cracked open a past he had sealed shut with sleepless nights and quiet prayers. In that small moment, standing under the harsh white lights of an ordinary place in an ordinary American town, the weight of his answer pressed against his chest like a confession he had never meant to share. The air felt heavy, his breath shallow, and the life he had survived rushed back all at once. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet strength of people who keep going even when life breaks them, take a moment now to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us that compassion still matters. Michael was a single father in his late 30s, living in a modest neighborhood outside Columbus, Ohio, where the houses leaned slightly with age and the streets remembered better days. Every morning began before the sun rose, with the soft rhythm of routine that held his life together. He packed lunches, checked homework, tied shoelaces, and made sure his 8-year-old son Noah left the house smiling even when Michael himself felt hollow. His life was built on responsibility, not dreams. Love, romance, and the idea of being seen as more than a tired father had been set aside years ago, the day he buried his wife Rebecca after a sudden illness that gave no warning and no mercy. The world had not paused for Michael's grief. Bills still arrived. Work still demanded more. Noah still needed bedtime stories and reassurance that tomorrow would be okay. Michael learned to survive by focusing on the next task, the next obligation, the next small win. He worked as a maintenance supervisor at a large medical office complex, a job that paid just enough and required long hours. He kept his head down, avoided unnecessary conversations, and wore his exhaustion like a second skin. People saw him as dependable, quiet, and distant, never guessing that every quiet moment echoed with memories he could not erase. On that particular afternoon, Michael had been called into the administrative wing to fix a persistent electrical issue. It was there he met Sarah Whitman, the new operations manager recently transferred from Chicago. She was professional, composed, and carried herself with the confidence of someone used to making decisions that affected hundreds of lives. She noticed Michael because he moved with a careful gentleness, the kind that suggested patience learned the hard way. Their interaction was brief, polite, and ordinary, until she asked a question meant to be nothing more than small talk. She had asked if he was married. Michael's answer was honest, stripped of explanation, and heavier than she expected. He said no, but not because he was free. He said no because the woman he had loved was gone. The words were simple, but the truth behind them stopped her cold. The confident rhythm she carried faltered, and for a moment the distance between manager and employee disappeared, replaced by shared human vulnerability. Sarah walked away that day with his answer echoing in her mind. She had lost her own marriage to ambition, to long hours and emotional neglect, but loss through death was something different entirely. Michael returned to his routine, unaware that something subtle had shifted. Over the following weeks, Sarah found reasons to cross paths with him, always keeping things professional, always respecting boundaries, yet quietly observing the way he spoke about his son with a softness he did not allow anywhere else. Michael noticed too, though he tried not to. He told himself that noticing was dangerous. He had built his life on control, on never letting hope wander too far. But Sarah's presence unsettled him in ways he could not name. She listened when he spoke. She did not rush to fill silence. She saw the man beneath the exhaustion, and that terrified him. The real challenge came not from attraction, but from guilt. Michael carried a constant fear that opening his heart again would somehow betray Rebecca's memory. At night, after Noah fell asleep, he would sit alone at the kitchen table, staring at old photographs and wondering if he was allowed to want something more. He prayed for guidance, for peace, for clarity, but answers came slowly. Grief did not vanish, it evolved, shaping itself into something quieter but still powerful. When Noah fell ill one winter evening, and Michael had to rush him to the emergency room where he worked, Sarah was there. She watched Michael hold his son with a protective desperation that revealed everything he never said. She saw love in its purest form, and in that moment, her respect for him deepened into something far more serious. She helped quietly, Without crossing lines, without making promises, she simply stayed present. Life did not magically improve after that. Michael still struggled financially. He still fought exhaustion. He still woke from dreams where Rebecca smiled at him from a distance he could not cross. But something had changed. He no longer felt invisible. He no longer felt like his pain was a burden that had to be carried alone. Over time, trust grew slowly, like sunlight creeping into a dark room. Michael learned that allowing someone to care did not erase the past. It honored it. Rebecca had loved him deeply, and part of that love, he realized, was wanting him to live fully, not just survive. Sarah never asked him to move faster than he could. She respected his pace, his fears, and his devotion to his son. The turning point came not with romance, but with courage. Michael spoke openly about his loss for the first time, without shame. He allowed himself to imagine a future where joy did not come with an apology. He learned that being a single father was not a limitation, but a testament to strength. As this story draws closer to its end, if it has touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps stories of hope reach others who may need them more than they realize. Before the ending, I have a special request. Please comment below and share what this story made you feel, because your words might help someone else who is quietly carrying the same pain. Michael's answer to that simple question had once stopped someone cold, but in doing so, it opened a door neither of them expected. Life did not become perfect. It became honest. And sometimes, that is the most beautiful kind of healing there is.